Hello, friends, and happy Stray Kids Comeback Day to those who celebrate. I am filming this on July 19th, which is in fact the day Stray Kids dropped their new album 8. This, surprisingly, isn't a K-pop video, but I thought it was important to recognize this special day for Stay. Stray Kids are my alt bias, so they're literally everywhere, including my new bookmark for my new next read, Bride by Hazelwood. As you can see by the cover, we have a wolf. If you know anything about Stray Kids, you know that this guy right here, his little symbol is a wolf. He leaves wolf emojis in all of his posts. He has Wolf Chan as his plushie, and so for the book that has a wolf on it, I obviously had to go with my Chan bookmark. Let's get it out of there so you can actually see it. So this bookmark isn't actually currently available because it's mine. I own it. But I do have other Chan bookmarks available on my Etsy shop if you're interested. It's streamingofstarsco.etsy.com, and I love matching my bookmarks to my newest read, and the light is my nemesis today. I think I did a pretty good job. I got the red in there. I got the angsty vibe of this pose and everything. And I think I crushed it. I did pick a different Chan bookmark first because I like it more, but it was all blue. And there's not really enough blue in this to justify that. So anyway, we are going to be doing a whole reading vlog for Bride. This is my first Hazelwood book ever. I have watched some creators I really respect and appreciate their opinions who have read one Hazelwood book and loved it, read another Hazelwood book and didn't love it, and I've read other creators who this is their favorite book of the year. I'm just really curious where I'm gonna fall on the Bride train and also the Hazelwood train. If I happen to not like this, I'm not ruling out her as an author in the future. And I do think I'll probably love this because I have been reading about vampires and werewolves and paranormal romance and paranormal fantasy since I was in middle school. So, omegaverse, not new for me. I've heard this be described as baby's first omegaverse, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way because I call myself a baby fan or baby stan of things all the time. So if you are dipping your toe into omegaverse and you see me refer to this as baby's first omegaverse, it's not meant in a rude way. It's meant in an endearing, oh my gosh, you're doing it way. I grew up on AO3. I grew up writing Teen Wolf fanfiction that you'll never see because I don't even remember my account name and couldn't log in to get to see it. But that's my origin story for Omegaverse. So I've dipped my toe into that realm. I was first gonna try and do a video of how long it takes me to read this book, but I have so much going on with my schedule. I don't have time to do that. I only have 2 weeks to read this because it's so friggin' popular. I've been on the waiting list for a month. I just got my copy and they said, "TikTok, lady, you got 2 weeks." So I don't think it'll take me that long. If I like it, it'll probably take me 2 days. I don't know if we're going to start reading it today or tomorrow or the next day, but I wanted to start this vlog because I did just go to the library to pick it up. So I'm gonna go continue streaming Chick Chick Boom by Stray Kids featuring Deadpool and Wolverine, which is crazy. And yeah, that's my day. That's how we're starting this vlog. Can't wait to discover what I think of Bride and what I think of Hazelwood and have some discussions with you about it. So I'll see you there. Hello, good morning. It is the next day. I did, in fact, stay up last night reading almost all of Bride by Hazelwood. I am currently on chapter 22, page 271, and yes, I can confirm this is very much baby's first omegaverse, baby's first shifter romance, baby's first paranormal romance. I don't know what my hair is doing, so we're just gonna pretend that it's not. I think this is going to be a great book recommendation for people who are looking to test out the genre to see if they like it. I also will be able to use this book as a great comp for my book based on the voice of the characters and sort of just there are some serious or more serious. Wow, I haven't even finished my coffee yet. Let's have coffee while we have this discussion. Jeez Louise. So there are some more serious topics in this, but not a lot. Whereas my book does have some pretty heavy topics, but the levity of the character banter and the dialogue and just some of the very silly, quirky things kind of match the vibe and the tone of my own novel. So it's like I was not expecting at all for this to be a comp for my own book, but the tone of voice and the characters and all of that stuff is going to work as a comp, which is like really exciting. Because I literally just picked this up to have fun and to read something everyone was talking about and share my thoughts and opinions on it. And to come out with something else was like really exciting. So, haven't finished it yet, but I am having a really good time. I've been cheesing it up. I've been smiling through like this whole book, which I was not expecting. The last time I think I smiled this much while I was reading was when I read Bringing Down the Duke by Evie Dunmore. That's a historical romance. I said, it's better than Bridgerton. And so if you're looking for a historical romance, there's my rec for you. But this book has just been like such a nice return for me back to wolf shifters and vampires, and that is like my bread and butter. That's what I grew up reading, that's what I grew up loving. I think dragons more than anything got me into fantasy, but once I discovered werewolves and vampires, it was like, oh, we're so in, we're all in. I also think if this is your first book like this, your first sort of supernatural fantasy romance, paranormal romance, just you wait. There are many, so many great authors writing this subject matter, and you can get novellas. And that's what I do a lot actually, is I'll look for novellas of like wolf shifters, and just whenever I'm craving some pack dynamics, whenever I'm craving some like tropes like she doesn't know I'm a shifter and she finds a lost wolf and takes care of it and then he turns into a man when he's healed, like all that kind of stuff is just, it's almost like a palate cleanser for me, and it feels like coming home when I read them. So I read them quite often. I read a couple a year, probably more than that. And I'm just so excited that this book is out there and exists for a whole new sort of generation of readers, even if you're getting into reading later in life. Like, not saying 30s is later in life or 40s or anything, but like I started reading this kind of stuff as a child. So I've kind of been really in tune with it for a really long time. I think this is such a great place to start for people who are just trying to get into it. And so for that, I'm happy this book exists. My hand is freezing. Let me take another drink and put this down. I can also see why some book reviewers don't like this at all. There is a very, like I kind of already mentioned, quirky element to these characters, and I can see this working sometimes and rubbing people the wrong way other times. And I think it can depend on your mood when you go into this book, when you find it. I think it can depend on the characters themselves. I think there's just a lot of factors that could turn people off from this book, and I totally get that, especially for readers who have been reading this genre, who have read things that are way more sophisticated who have read this done in much better, different ways. But I think for what it is, I'm enjoying it. And I'm just going to allow myself to enjoy it. And that's why reading is so fun, because it's dependent on so many factors whether you're going to have a good time with a book. It's like, where are you emotionally when you pick up that book? Does the book sort of make a balm to your emotional status, or does it disrupt it and make it even worse? So for me, this book is making me happy, and I've been not happy for a few days. So it's like a breath of fresh air. The next thing is the writing. Do you connect with the writing? Are you annoyed by the writing? Then it's the craft itself, the plot, the pacing, the character arcs, all of these plot devices. Are they working for you? Are they not working for you? And I think for me, everything is just working for this book, and I'm having a good time. I don't think it'll be a 5-star, even though I am having such a good time, just because it is a little. It's just it is just such a gateway book to get you into this genre. And because I've read so much of it before and it's not blowing me away, like I there haven't been any surprises so far. I don't think there will be any surprises in this book when it comes to like the mate issue, when it comes to the sister, when it comes to finding her friend. When it comes to what I think the big conflict is going to be in this last 100 pages, none of this has surprise. It's like every one of these stories has a very specific like beat. Like this happens in the first act, this happens in the second act, this happens in the third act, and this book is following all those beats really well. So nothing has surprised me, and I think for those reasons it's not going to be a 5-star, but I'm having a lot of fun. And I was worried because so many people have not liked this book and really torn it apart, that I might fall into that category. But I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm having an okay time. So I'm hoping I can finish it tonight. I'm on 271, and there are, let's see, 396. So I have like 120 pages left. Easily finished tonight. I don't know if I want to give any spoilers in this video. I kind of just wanted to go over like, am I enjoying it? Because it is such a popular one and there are such split opinions, and I can definitely see both sides. So I have some work to do today. If you didn't know, did I mention this? I don't even know. I can't remember literally what I said yesterday. I make and sell bookmarks for my Etsy shop, dreamingofstarsco.etsy.com, and I have some orders to do today. I always try and do my orders on Saturday. So I gotta go work on that, and then I have to vid it. vid it. I have to. I feel like I have a bug bite. I have to edit one more video for my main YouTube channel for next week, and then I have to schedule all my videos to be posted, and then I should be done with like my weekly tasks. So that's my agenda for the rest of the day. You'll see me again once I have finished this book, or before then, if we don't have a happily ever after and I end up really upset. So I'll see you there. It is the next day, and I finished this last night. It was exactly my voice. It's so early, haven't finished my coffee yet, so we'll just ignore it together. It's exactly what I thought it would be. Baby's first wolf shifter, baby's first paranormal romance, baby's first supernatural romance, all the things. It does have a happily ever after, so if you were worried about that, you do have to get through some touch and go moments towards the end. But yes, everything does resolve itself for the ending. I had a good time. I was smiling through it. I enjoyed it. I was trying to think as I was pondering what I was going to say for this final segment of the video. Like, are there better wolf shifter books out there? Yes. But I, off the top of my head, can't think of any to recommend, because anytime I started to think of them, I would start thinking, well, I liked this one, but the plot was the issue. But like the wolf shifter, wolf pack dynamics were so good. But then it's like the plot was really annoying, or the plot was really dramatic and over the top, and like, so I didn't like the plot. But I liked the wolf shifter, and I don't know, I might try and go through my voice. I haven't talked at all yet today. I might try and go through my Goodreads to check out some wolf shifter books I've read in the past, and I might leave them at the end of the video on just like a slide with like, here's the book, here's why I'm recommending it. If you liked this, you would probably like that book as a next step if you wanted to dive deeper into wolf dynamics and things like that. There's all sorts of derivatives of this kind of storytelling. You can go into reverse harem, you can go into just literally all sorts of things, and it's such a fun genre. And I'm hoping that for a lot of people who Bride was their first step into wolf shifter romance, they're gonna have so much to explore because there's just so much out there. So, conclusion, I liked it. I had a good time. Is it the best one I've ever read? I don't know. It's kind of basic, but not in a bad way. Because sometimes we all need just like a low stakes, fun story to just settle into for a few hours. And that's what this did for me. So I'm really appreciative of that. I will be recommending this to people, especially people who are maybe getting into romance, fantasy romance for the first time, shifter romance for the first time. This is a great, I just keep saying it because it's a great first book for this genre. That's my recommendation. That is the conclusion of this vlog. I feel like it's not as exciting as I thought it might be, because I was like, this can go 2 or 3 ways. I could either love it, I could either hate it, or I could feel none of those things about it. And I think I'm close to loving it. I really had a good time. It did make me smile the whole time I was reading it, except for like towards the end where it gets a little dicey. But yeah, overall, I recommend it. And I am gonna go because I don't have any good thoughts and I need to finish my coffee. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it entertaining, even though it's just clips of me for the past 3 days telling you about this book. If you've read Bride, what did you think? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to start a conversation about this and chat with you guys there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.